court split up siblings? Hi, I'm Alycia Kinchloe, the owner of Kinchloe Law, a family law practice based in the Philadelphia area. Now, when we have families with multiple siblings or half siblings, the question becomes what happens and what will a court typically do when there's a potential chance of splitting the siblings up? Now, as always, you want to speak with an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case. You must understand that every case is unique, although there are a lot of similarities between some cases. Now, one of the 16 factors that the courts must consider in custody cases is going to be the sibling relationships. And again, you should understand that sibling relationships don't just include full biological siblings. It can include adopted siblings, and it can also include half siblings. But what's important to understand here is it's not just that if a parent has maybe a child with another person, so which gives a family a half sibling with the child in question, or that's part of the case, it does not mean that that parent automatically wins primary physical custody or sole physical custody or even share custody, because again, it's just one factor. It's one factor that the court is going to consider in the overall scheme of determining what's in the best interest of the children. A second thing people should understand is that it's regarding the sibling relationships. So just because a parent may have other children that the child in question, that's part of the custody case in question, may be related to, it does not mean that those sibling relationships cannot be maintained through a situation where the other parent has primary physical custody of that child or even shared physical custody. So what the courts tend to look at is going to be the nature of the sibling relationships. Do the siblings that we're talking about that are not in the same household, how close are they? What is the relationship like? And then again, that's going to be one of the 16 factors the courts consider. Now, another part of this question, which is twofold really, is will the court split up siblings? So in a situation where there is the potential of splitting up full biological siblings, so where the child share both the mother and father or both parents, the question becomes, will the court actually split them up? And I've had cases where that is absolutely the case. The courts have recognized, again, when we're looking at the best interest of the children, it doesn't mean that those children are considered all together. The court can look at the individual needs of the individual children. And the courts have found that it is appropriate to perhaps have one child or some of the children with one parent and one child and the other children with the other parent. For example, there have been a situation where a father has primary physical custody of the son and mother has primary physical custody of the daughter. And initially that can begin with maybe the parents agreeing to that at some point during their split, and recognizing that maybe there is a stronger bond with one child with one parent, and that the children are not completely disadvantaged by not spending as much time together. And usually there is some way for the children to spend time together. So maybe on the weekends they are both together with one parent, and then on the other weekend they're with both parents at the other parent, with each other at the other parent's house. So that is a way to make sure that there continues to be an opportunity for the children to maintain a bond, but also looking at what is in the individual best interest of the children. Now, oftentimes it's not splitting the children up, because those children usually have grown up together, and keeping them together is something that is important when it comes to stability, which is another factor that the courts will consider in the 16 custody factors. And oftentimes keeping those children together and the stability that that provides is going to outweigh some of the other things that we've talked about. However, it is possible, I have seen it, there has been case law about it where the courts have considered it in the best interest of the children for them to be split and to spend with one of them spending primary time with one parent and the other spending primary time with the other parent. And there also have been situations where a half sibling is not enough by itself to keep a child with that parent. So it's important to understand that cases turn on nuances. It's about the individual best interests of the children. So you have to make sure that you're considering the relationships with the parent, the relationship with the other children, stability in their lives, where the parents live, how high is the conflict. All of those are things that must be considered when determining the best interest of the children. And again, the sibling relationship is just one of the 16 factors that the courts will consider. So I hope to shed a little bit of light on what happens or what could happen potentially if siblings are split up or if it can happen. If you have any questions, you can reach out to my office by visiting kinchloelaw.com. Again, you want to speak to an attorney licensed in your state about the facts specific to your case. And as always, we're going to remind you to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. So every time we drop a brand new video, you get a notification. All right, until next time, take care.